What is up, Lightfighters? Something about radios. I don't like radios. Watch an intro.
Eagle 2, this is Lightfighter 1-1. How copy, over.
Contact! Contact!
1-1, this is Eagle 2, good copy, set traffic, over.
All right, radio nerds. My radio nerd is coming over right now with his equipment. We are going to go start setting up an HF radio in the field. So take me through this first steps first. What do we do?
All right. So, because people like asking things on YouTube, this is a Spider Beams telescopic fiberglass pole, length 10 meters, 32 feet. There you go.
Okay.
The exact height.
You were making jokes about this being called a Japanese fishing pole at one point.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So
Is that just a racial slur that we like saying?
no. So I think this idea out of the radio world came from very long Japanese fishing poles and portable flag poles.
Okay.
So there are other ways to solve this problem. I got this on sale, so
Nice.
I don't know how much they are now.
Cool.
All of this 550 cord stuff is like some Boy Scout stuff that I added,
Yeah.
which is like wrapping 550 cord and making loops.
Let me get up close on that and you can talk about that here.
So I don't know exactly how to describe it. Like if you know how to wrap an axe handle with 550 cord, then you know how to do this.
There you go.
So there you go. You can learn it. And basically the only reason I did that is so that we can just guide this out quickly. This is by no means the perfect solution here. I bought this mast probably about, I don't know, what is this month? Maybe like 6 months ago. So I'm still kind of perfecting my solution here, but
And this is just a mast. This is not an antenna, right?
correct. We're going to attach the antenna to it.
Okay.
So we just, one of the secrets to all of this is just to keep all your cordage as tangled up as possible. So the nice thing about this is it weighs so much less than anything you can buy that's like military surplus poles, So what's that Wisconsin comedian say? That ain't going nowhere. What's this?
You betcha?
Charlie? Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that ain't going
That ain't
nowhere.
going nowhere.
So essentially what we're going to do here in a minute is we're just going to attach, see, that's how you keep that. We're going to attach the antenna to the top of this, and all it is just friction locked sections that goes up into the sky, right? And it goes way farther up into the sky. That we're not going to do right now because we don't have our antenna attached.
All right, cool. Let's attach the antenna. All right, are we on step 2 yet?
We're on step 2.
Ish. Step 1, plant mast. Guy line it down.
And as I may or may not have already said, this is a chameleon
The
antenna.
chameleon antenna.
Yep.
What makes this an antenna and not that bundle of wire over there an antenna?
Because this length of wire is a specific length.
Okay.
And those other wires I have over there are not.
And
made
so
into anything
is
specific.
finding out your antenna length universal across radio? So a little trick I learned for VHF jungle antennas, that's going to be the correct length if I was using HF as well. Like, let me see if I can remember it. It's your frequency divided by 234, right?
It is, so for a quarter wave, it's 234 divided by the frequency in megahertz equals length in feet.
Okay.
For a half wave antenna, it's 468 divided by the frequency in megahertz equals length. So that's because whenever you're building, if you're looking at a field manual and it's talking about building a jungle antenna, you're building an actual resonant antenna for the frequency in which you're trying to operate, which is very good because that antenna is going to work very good. What we're putting up today is what in the radio world we call a random wire antenna. And this is literally the Swiss Army knife multi-tool of antennas.
Mm-hmm.
it sucks at being a pliers, it sucks at being a screwdriver, it sucks at being a knife, but it can, in fact, do all of those things. So I like chameleon antennas because the wire they use is super nice. Chameleon antennas, send us free stuff. This box has been out in the rain for numerous days. You can see it's all icky and it still works. Can you build something that is nicer for less money? Maybe, you know, it depends on how much your time is worth to you. So no arguing about that. If you would like a random wire antenna that does not suck any more than any other random wire antenna is already going to suck by design, go to chameleon antennas.
Chameleon antennas. All right, so
Yep.
you said this is kind of the jackknife or the jack of all trades for an antenna. What if we had a specific commo plan with a higher authority or, you know, our higher, and we knew exactly what frequency we were going to be on?
This would not be the antenna I used.
Okay, but this is the antenna you choose because today we're going to be kind of just using...
Playing around.
All right, cool. And so if we don't know exactly what high frequency we might be using, or HF band, whatever we call them, channel, I don't know.
Yep.
You'd recommend this because we can use a couple different ones.
Right, because your pack already weighs 50 or 60 pounds. We can't be carrying in like 7 different antennas that are perfect at what they do. If you're just going to carry in one antenna, and I might want to talk to some of our guys in Virginia, I might want to talk to some of our guys 50 miles down the road, I can do all of that with this antenna. It's just going to be maybe like 75% as good as an antenna that was specifically made for those frequencies.
Cool.
But I can do both of those things,
That's
you
like
know,
my wife
across
just
the
called me
world,
here.
across the country, and on the other side of the county, depending on a lot of things, radio people. So no arguing in the comments. So we will task you, which is walking this way with the wire winder as I
Okay.
put this up.
And I just wind it out?
Oh yeah.
All right.
The nice thing about this,
Here, let me adjust my shot real quick.
the nice thing about this chameleon antennas wire is it has like magic Kevlar in it, which if you have ever dealt with L3 Harris HF antennas, they use a similar wire that's much thicker.
I see why they call them chameleon antennas too.
Yes, this is green.
Shit. There it is.
So,
All right, this way,
Yep.
and don't pull the mast down.
so if you're like in a field with a bunch of donkeys and horses like we are now, and they're around you, stringing up a green antenna might not be great. You know, at the last event we were at, when we set up HF antenna, we even tied some flagging tape to it.
Oh yeah, or little mini 1-inch Kim sticks are great too.
Yep.
Yo, how long is this thing? It's ridiculous.
No, it's only like 50 feet. Do you remember A squared plus B squared equals C squared?
Yeah, I can just go, I don't have to go into the woods, do I? I can just skirt this tree line?
Yeah.
Okay. What do I do when I get to the end?
You can just chill. I forgot to give you a tent stake.
As a prepared light fighter, I will use this stick I found.
There you go. Is this where you're supposed to say light fighters don't carry tent stakes?
Why would you carry a tin stake into a gunfight? You gonna tin stake somebody to death? I got people in my comment sections who are convinced that they're gonna get in a knife fight one day. And I pity them. Because a knife fight is a shitty thing to be in. All right, so that was step 2, right? Step 2, attach antenna and run antenna out.
Right.
I can't even see it. Oh, and it's bending our mast, is that okay?
Oh yeah, this is fiberglass.
All right, and then I notice it's not straight up in the air.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be straight up in the air? Why is it at an angle?
So this antenna configuration is called a sloper. If you look in your field manual, which I'm sure you have recently,
Oh yeah.
it will talk about sloper antennas. It will
can't
talk about inverted V antennas. It will talk about L antennas. All of those things are in the field manuals that you can read.
Okay,
This is a sloper.
so this is a sloper, so what do we attach to it?
This is our magic box,
All right.
which is literally magic.
All right, this is where we imprison the pixies
Yeah,
and make them slave labor us magic fairy dust. Talk
Yes.
through the sky.
100%.
All right, see, I'm tracking.
And then we'll connect our coax to that and that to the radio. And then we will see what there is to see. Today, I checked the space weather conditions and solar activity
Yeah, you lying.
to check
It's not real.
the potential for magic working today.
Okay.
And the potential is
Thank
low for the
Low
magic.
potential for magic?
Low potential for magic.
Ah, bring back
But-
human sacrifice.
There will be magic. There will just not be as much magic.
Okay. So
So-
what is regular magic versus advanced magic? Today we can talk so far because of space weather.
What we're going to experience, are you old enough to have had the TVs with the rabbit ears?
Oh yeah, and you gotta like
get
stand it.
static.
You gotta like maybe stand in one spot
Yeah.
of the room and it just works.
Yeah.
So your dad, I'm fatherless.
So-
he's just like stand right there.
So like today would be the
Don't
day
move.
that you're like wrapping tinfoil around your rabbit ears
Okay.
to improve the magic.
All right.
And other days you just turn on the TV and
And it just works.
Yeah, it just works. Yeah, that's the type of
Okay.
magic problems we're talking about today.
All right, let's go get set up. We going over there?
Yes.
All right. All right, before he gets here, we're gonna just hook this up somehow.
Could you imagine a horse
I
running into
wasn't
this
doing
wire
anything.
and just losing their minds?
Do what? All right, talk to me, Goose.
So we've ran our wire in a sloper configuration from about 33 feet up down to the ground. On our magic box, one side is called antenna, marked as an A. You know, for radio smooth brains, you got it right there. A for
So I don't mess it up.
I put that there just for you in case I'm not here.
You should put it on a
sometime.
piece of glow
Hey.
tape. Wouldn't that be wise wizardry too? I got some.
And
I'm the tape guy. You're the radio guy.
we're going to use some of our random wire here, some of our bits of wire to run a counterpoise off of this. Why is not important. If you're the radio person, you already know.
Counterpoise. What is
Yeah.
a counterpoise? Why you go do this? Kind of give me a down and dirty.
A down and dirty
Well, I got your good sizing frame.
is because this is not a good antenna. So sometimes we have to add bits of things to it to make it happy.
Okay, so this is the aluminum foil on the rabbit ears.
We're basically establishing a bit of a ground
Okay.
for it to just dump all of our RF energy and waste it all over the place instead of using it in a helpful manner.
And is this a necessity? You got to do this, or you just
For this antenna, it prefers it.
okay?
If we had a antenna actually cut for the frequencies we're going to use today by using the formulas you talked about, 100% unnecessary.
Okay.
But because this is a compromise antenna that does all kinds of things, this is helpful.
All right. So step 3: hook up your antenna to magic box. Hook up counterpoise to magic box. All right. So that is coax wire,
Coax wire.
and it is special radio coax wire, not TV coax wire.
Yeah, this coax wire is 50 ohm coax, and your TV wire is 75
And radio
ohm.
guys will already know that.
Radio guys will already know that.
All right, so talk us through what you're doing there. Coax is going on. And what are all these are magnets, right?
So
Like reduce static or something?
those, if you go around your house and look at some of those wall wart devices that reduce AC 120 down to DC voltages, so
Okay.
like things that run your Wi-Fi router and stuff like that, they might have these little ferrite clamp-on things on there. And the short answer to that is that it prevents stray radio frequencies from traveling on the
So from
Great
this
side.
accidentally becoming an antenna, kinda?
kind of, sort of.
Okay, kinda,
Yes.
sorta. I'm just trying to dumb it down for myself.
So
All right, so we have everything's assembled correctly. Our radio is hooked up to power. Our antenna's hooked up to the mast and stretched in a configuration that you deem is appropriate. And our magic box is hooked up in the middle of all this with, what'd you call that thing again? The black wire?
this is a counterpoise.
Counterpoise, and that is helping today.
And it's helping today
radio reasons.
because we're using a compromised antenna.
Okay, so let's talk through powering this on and making some contact with some people and seeing who we can hear real quick.
Okay. So kind of the interesting thing about HF radio is that we have like a huge variety of frequencies to choose from.
And so HF goes all the way from like what 3 to
1
1
to
to
29, 30.
okay.
You know, some of that's, anyway, that's
Mud
what
is
most
water.
people would
Gotcha.
say.
Depends.
Yep.
Copy. So making contact. Obviously, if we had a plan and we had people to contact, we would tune into our designated radio channel.
The easiest way to explain that on HF radio is, or even if you just want to buy a $40 SDR, the software defined radio, and you just want to listen to stuff, right? If you want to listen to people far away, then you're going to be on higher frequencies. Like right now, we're on 21 megahertz,
Okay.
also known as the 15 meter band.
Okay.
We could go to 28 megahertz and hear people all around the world. If we went down to like 7 megahertz, 3 megahertz, 1 megahertz right now, it would only be local people.
All right. Now that seems opposite of my traditional radio magical know-how, because typically we're up way higher than this in UHF and VHF, and we can only talk locally. But you're saying that when HF, the script gets flipped down there, and we want to talk far, we need 20 meters, but low, very low, like 7.5, stuff like that, that's only going to talk to us close. Why?
So kind of two different reasons. The first reason is that the higher the frequency, so when we're up by like 21 and 28 megahertz, the takeoff angle of our signal off the antenna is much lower. So we're kind of shooting the signal super low towards the sky. So it's going to go really, really far before it hits the ionosphere and starts refracting back down towards the Earth.
Okay.
Whereas on the lower frequencies, down in 3 megahertz and that, we have a much higher takeoff angle. So it's going to bounce much closer to us off the ionosphere and come back down much closer.
What determines this takeoff angle? The actual frequency?
Yeah, the magic.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah, the magic.
The magic. All right,
Yes.
I get it.
That is how the magic comes off the wire, because of that.
All right.
The magic.
So, who can we listen to that's far away right now, real quick again?
Well, we've already heard Eastern Europe and someplace that I don't even know what it is. We've heard Connecticut, Ohio.
Let me get
And
my
it
mic
should-
a little closer.
It should be noted that we are in Missouri. So this is from Missouri.
Those boys are not speaking English.
The radio call signs they're using,
Yeah.
the letters that they start with, each country has their own letters. So if you just hear the call signs they're saying, you can tell where they're from.
What's North America here? America, U.S.
Everyone in the U.S. will start with a K, a W, or an N, I think is everybody.
Okay.
But I'm not.
And that's when you get your ham license, you're assigned a call sign, correct?
Yes.
What's your call sign? Are you allowed to say?
No, I'm not allowed to say.
Okay.
We're going to bleep all of that out whenever you record anything we do.
Oh, okay, cool.
So So Sugar Mike, that's somewhere in Eastern Europe, I think.
This is what we're hearing right now?
Yeah.
That's coming in nice and clear.
Out of Kansas City, just checking in and out.
Hey, Greg, hearing you out of Kansas City. Are you getting any rain?
Rain's supposed to start at about 10 p.m. today. So we're just out playing portable radio, and I heard the net and thought I'd check in real quick.
All right, Greg, hearing you, boy. Thanks for checking in. Hope you get a nice rain. Thank you, sir. Traffic.
Where's she at?
Texas?
Okay. Did she say that earlier? I missed it. I think that's a pretty good wrap, guys. You have anything else you want to add on HF radio in the field? We'll go put up another antenna here in a little bit.
No, it's like
The weather's holding for us.
It's a giant pain in the butt. You shouldn't volunteer to do it.
Guys, radio is fake and gay, and this is why. This is my buddy at LimaFoxtrot in your comment section, or at Midwest Deplorables on YouTube. Thanks for coming out here and showing me this stuff today. I hope you guys had no fun at all. Rock on, stay sharp, and kiss your mothers.